Guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Collision post-show review. So Collision is live from Colorado Springs. The card for tonight, we will see World and Hyan will go up against CMLL Women's World Champion Persephone and Hikaru Shida. We will also see the Continental Challenge Cup kicking off. 3 matches announced for tonight: Orange Cassidy and Matt Sydal, Jack Doyle versus returning Eddie Kingston, and also Claudio versus Ace Austin as well. So plenty to look forward. Let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off Collision with the Continental Challenge Cup first round match, Claudio versus Ace Austin. Claudio grounded Austin early on using power to block the moves of the smaller man. We saw Austin D, the Fightsman, carry into a Death Valley driver after a brief exchange with Claudio, and Claudio bailed to the floor. Guardrail with an Irish whip from Ace Austin. Claudio blocked a German suplex. Austin made it back in before the 10 count. Austin dodged a charge from Claudio and he turned into a dropkick from Austin that allowed him to get up. Austin went for the fold, but Claudio caught him and set him on the top turnbuckle, fought him off and hit a hurricane run off the middle rope. Claudio went for the swing, but Austin countered into a choke with his legs. Claudio wheelbarrowed Austin and pulled him up into a power bomb of sorts with sheer strength, and then the pop-up uppercut to score the pinfall victory. So again, a very good victory for Claudio. Ace Austin looks fantastic and a fantastic opener to start off the tournament. We get the hype video of Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega aired as well, and it showed Ospreay cutting a promo after his win on Mark Davis at Grand Slam Mexico last week, covered in blood, insisting that he was ready for Omega, and that was an excellent promo as well. So looking forward to the all-in main event. Next up is Brawling Birds versus Viva Van and Ward Vixen. Ward Vixen and Viva Van tried to bring the fight to Hater and Windsor immediately. Viva Van tagged in and hit a crossbody of the top rope onto Hater. Hater ran through a double clothesline attempt and hit a double lariat on both of her opponent. We saw Ward Vixen and Viva Van throw out of the ring before tagging out to Hater by Windsor. Hit a double headbutt, then hit the 2 birds and 1 stone for the pinfall victory. So again, great victory for Brawling Birds heading into the Women's Tag Titles match at All In. Post-match, we saw Divine Dominion's music hit, and after the match, Megan Bayne and Lina Cross came through the crowd to attack, leaving the Brawling Birds laying outside the ring. So again, we are building towards the Women's Tag Titles match at All In. Next up is another Continental Cup match, Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal. Orange came out to Jane as his theme song again here. Excellent theme song. Cassidy and Sydal started exchanging holds. We saw there were a lot of fake outs, but Cassidy went for a standing moonsault and missed. Sydal hit his own. Both then started exchanging attempts at Irish whip. Both men fought on the ropes, staggering each other and then hitting forearms at the same time. So again, liking the styles of both these guys. Sydal went to the other corner, but Cassidy rolled back to the other way. Sydal decided to just go for the pinfall directly, which seemed to surprise Cassidy. Sydal then hit a hurricane run and a kick for a very close 2 count. Stunt Dog Millionaire countered by Sydal, then kicked out of a roll-up. Cassidy and Sydal exchanged a series of quiet hold again, with Cassidy finally hitting a tope suicide and a DDT back in the ring for a very close 2 count. Cassidy moved out of the shooting star press attempt from Matt Sydal, landed on his feet but walked into a beach break for the pinfall victory. So this was an excellent match between these two baby faces and pretty much liked the contest as well. John Moxley and Claudio were backstage. Moxley congratulating Claudio on his win. Then Moxley said that he felt naked without his title, but that is what he does, putting it all on the line. He liked Jack Perry for his guys, but did not like who he was teaming with tonight, the Bang Bang Gang. And he will wrestle Perry next Wednesday in the Continental Challenge Cup first round match. So very good promo from Jon Moxley as well. Next up is Rascals in action. Desmond Xavier and Zachary Vance wasted no time in the match, taking out their opponents with hot fire flame. So quick victory for the Rascals. Rascals grabbed the mic, talked about how they belonged in AEW. They are one of the best trios and tag teams as well. Myron Reed said that they can also hold their own in singles action. And Reed was ready to face Speedball Mike Bailey next. Next up is Myron Reed versus Speedball Mike Bailey. My god, this was one of the best matches of the night. What an incredible match. Would have loved to see this in the Continental Challenge Cup, but nonetheless, it was just a great TV match. Pretty much like the fast-paced action between these two as well. So Reed and Bailey had a quick exchange. Reed hit a sunset flip from the apron into the ring, sending Bailey back to his feet and hitting a super kick. Bailey cut Reed off the top rope before both men stood up, and Bailey hit a Frankensteiner. That looks brutal. Reed countered the shooting star press into a cutter and hit a gigantic tope con hero over the corner onto the Bailey to the floor. That was insane. Reed missed a 450. Bailey countered it into a standing Spanish fly, and that was the end of the match. Mike Bailey gets the pinfall victory after that. So again, excellent match between these two high flyers. The Dogs were backstage, and David Finlay and Clark Connors talked about who won every time they faced the Bang Bang Gang. Finlay said that he was facing Jay White on Dynamite in the Continental Cup, and he was going to put him on the shelf permanently before advancing in the tournament. So pretty much looking forward to that first round match as well in the Continental Challenge Cup. Next up is Persephone and Hikaru Shida versus Maya World and Hyan tag team match. Hyan and World fell victim to Shida and Persephone for a little bit in the opening part of this match. We saw Persephone hit a shotgun dropkick on Hyan. Both Persephone and Shida countered World on a dive as they went to the break. Persephone hit an STO on Hyan as they came back, but as Persephone was going for a crucifix bomb, Hyan countered into an arm drag. Hyan put Shida in the double chicken wing, and World hit the ropes, but Persephone pulled World from the ring, and then Persephone hit a missile dropkick on Hyan. Hyan picked Shida up with the double chicken wing. Shida countered out and hit a tombstone. That looked pretty ugly to score the pinfall victory. So again, these two heels standing tall on Hyan and Maya World. We might see a TBS title match as well between Maya World and Hikaru Shida. Kevin Knight was backstage with Lexi Nair. Knight said that he had to take things one at a time, wanting to give Chris Jericho a chance at his title first, and then after that maybe he will give thought to Darby Allin's challenge. So Darby challenged Kevin Knight for a false count anywhere match at All In for the TNT title. So let's see if this match gets official for All In card. They aired a video package of Takeshita in the G1 Climax announcing that he is leading the A block with 10 points, and now he is trying to become the 5th wrestler in history of the G1 to win back-to-back tournaments. Okada was the last man to do that in 2021 and 2022. So they are waiting for Takeshita to come back to get the three-way official between Okada, Takeshita and Fletcher for the international title. Pretty much looking forward to Takeshita coming back on the AEW television. Next up is the 8-man tag, the Bang Bang Gang and Jack Perry versus the Death Riders. This was your party match of the night. Both these factions are feuding for a while now. We saw Moxley started the match with Austin Gunn, but it wasn't long before Jack Perry tagged in, wanting to face his opponent for next week. Garcia tagged in, who did more of the same. Perry hitting chops and flying forearm. We saw Gunn tagged in, and Austin Gunn hit the rope so fast he made Myron Reed and Mike Bailey look slow. Everyone was hitting big moves after this, ending with Perry hitting a giant moonsault off the top rope onto the floor on the Death Riders. But Ina Shafir distracted the referee. Dogs ran down and crouched Austin Gunn on the ring post, while Utah hit a low blow on Colton Gunn. Yuta and Garcia laid out the guns for the pinfall victory. So again, Death Riders standing tall as we usually see on AEW television. Mike Bailey was backstage talking about his loss to Kyle Fletcher, but his win against Myron Reed. Bailey said that he could feel that he was close, and since MJF was looking for opponents, he was going to face MJF at Dynamite next Wednesday for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet as well. Nick Wayne wanted to be in on that match too, and Bailey was more than happy to have Wayne in this match. So we got the official confirmation as well. It's gonna be Nick Wayne versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus MJF for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. We saw Shane Taylor Promotions was backstage with Hurt Syndicate. Shane Taylor said that they wanted to acquire the services of Hurt Syndicate. Carly Bravo told Lashley to count the money, and Taylor indicated that he should stop talking. It seemed like Bravo was mocking Lashley. So there is this alliance between Shane Taylor Promotions and Hurt Syndicate. Let's see what happens between these two. And in the main event, the Continental Challenge Cup first round match, Eddie Kingston versus Jake Doyle. Eddie gets a huge reaction returning on television. Doyle went right after Kingston, beating him on throughout the early portion of the match. Doyle racked the eyes of Kingston and hit some shoulder blocks in the corner before hitting a lariat for a 2 count. Kingston fired up and hit some machine gun chops in the corner. Doyle blocked it and hit a running power slam for a 2 count. We saw Kingston hit a flying shoulder block from the middle rope before hitting the exploded suplex for a 2 count. Kingston managed to hit a Saito suplex for a 2. Went for the giant back fist, but Doyle ducked and hit a huge sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Doyle picked up Kingston by the throat and hit a hard forearm. Kingston started to fire up with every strike and hit 2 spinning back fists before locking on a dragon sleeper while twisting the neck of Doyle to get the submission victory. So again, great main event match. It is good to see Eddie Kingston back on television, and Jake Doyle is the exact kind of opponent that gets well with him. So really enjoyed the match as well. So Collision was a fantastic show, several fantastic matches, few angles that are building the mid-card feuds, and a great high for the all-in card as well. All in all, this was a very good show. That was the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.